It's going to be a good one today, guys, because we just got the 13F filing for Berkshire Hathaway, which you guys at this point should know that's Warren Buffett's holding company. So in this video, we're going to break down all the stocks Buffett owns through Berkshire Hathaway and all the moves he made in the last quarter. What stocks did he buy? What stocks did he sell out of? And he sold out of a couple positions completely, which we'll break down in this video, guys. So if y'all find value, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe here on YouTube and follow along for more on X at Stocks Talk Stocks, link down below, and you might as well get your free stocks for Moo. Why not? Once you open up your account and fund it with at least $100 using that link down below, or by going to stocksurfest.com/Moo, you get 5 stocks, each up to $2,000, and you get a free share of SoFi stock as well. It's a no-brainer, guys. Get on it. Again, use that link down below. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So we're not going to waste too much time on the charts in this video because, quite frankly, that's not too relevant. So let me actually come over here to this website so we can break down what is going on with Mr. Warren Buffett and his holding company, Berkshire Hathaway. So first, we're going to break down his top holdings. Then we'll go into the moves that he made in the last quarter, which he made some surprising moves, at least in my opinion. So make sure you guys stick on throughout this video. So number one is top holding in the stock market right now, which it's a massive holding, guys, is none other than Apple, ticker symbol AAPL, which you all at this point probably know, especially if you follow Buffett pretty closely. You know that he is heavily invested in Apple with a market value, are you ready for this, of 156, not million, but billion dollars. 50% of his portfolio here, Berkshire Hathaway's holdings, is in Apple stock alone, and he owns 915 million shares, which is just unbelievable. He's got to get that to a billion. Imagine owning a billion shares of Apple. That would just be unreal. So we didn't make any changes to Apple. Again, that still is number one holding by a long shot. Number two, we have Bank of America at 8.5% of the portfolio, or now it's at 9%. Excuse me. Previously, last 13F, it was at 8.5%. He owns over a billion shares of Bank of America at a market value of $28 billion. Then under that, number three, we have AXP, which is American Express. He owns 151 million shares of that at $22 billion, and that's 7.2% of his portfolio. Under that, at number four, we have Coca-Cola, which he owns 400 million, a nice round number there, 400 million shares at $22 billion, 7% roughly of the portfolio. Then we have CVX, which we'll break down more later in this video. This is Chevron. He owns $18 billion of Chevron, 110 million shares, but he sold a bunch of shares in the past quarter. Now his position's at 5.9%. We'll break down that in a little bit here. Under that, we have Kraft Heinz at number 6, which he owns almost $11 billion worth, and he owns 3.5% of his, or 3.5% of Berkshire is in Kraft Heinz. Then under that, we have MCO, which you guys know that is Moody's Corp. He owns almost $8 billion of that at 2.5% of the portfolio. Then under that, we have DVA, which is DaVita Inc. This is a healthcare company, $3.4 billion, roughly 1% of the portfolio. Then we have some other 1%ers here, under 1%. We have VeriSign, which I think is the 10th holding here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, no, 9 is VeriSign. That's a 0.8% holding at $2.5 billion. And Citigroup is the 10th largest holding, which makes up $2.2 billion of the portfolio, or the holding company, whatever you want to call it. And that's around 0.7% of the holding company. So those are his top 10 holdings. Not much has changed there, guys. I mean, again, Apple, Bank of America, American Express, Coca-Cola, these are typically in his top 5. They have been for years now. And now let's get to the interesting stuff, guys, where we go over what he sold, what he's bought over the last quarter here, which he hasn't done anything crazy, let me say that, but he has closed out a number of position. So this is the closed out tab here. We can see the names that he sold out of completely. So you guys can see he sold out of Activision Blizzard, which was previously about 0.3% of the portfolio. And mind you, these aren't massive or weren't massive. They weren't massive holdings, but he's out of these stocks now completely. So Activision Blizzard, which was an arbitrage play for Buffett. I think he bought it in the 60s, 70s, and kind of banked on the Microsoft deal going through. It did, and he probably sold out for a nice profit there. He sold all 14.6 million shares of Activision Blizzard. He also sold out of Celanese, or how do you say that? Yes, Celanese Corp. Materials company, sold 5.3 million shares, 0.2% of the portfolio is what it was. He also sold out of GM, about a 0.24% of the portfolio. He sold 22 million shares, completely gone out of GM. He also sold out of Johnson & Johnson, which J&J was roughly 0.02% of the portfolio. Really nothing, guys. He sold 327,000 shares, and he also sold out of, it looks like, Mondelez here, which is also a pretty small company. All of these are small now. Mondelez was 0.01%. Procter & Gamble was 0.01%. And UPS was literally listed here, or it's listed at 0%. He had 59,000 shares of UPS. So he sold out of UPS, Procter & Gamble, Mondelez, J&J, GM, Celanese, I can't say that one, or Celanese, whatever, and Activision Blizzard. And what he ended up buying into, or what he added to rather, is, let's see here, guys. Actually, no, there weren't any added to, but he did add some new positions. So these are new positions here that he added to the portfolio. So he added 222,000 shares of BATRK, which is Atlanta Braves Holdings. Pretty interesting there, guys. A market value of $7.9 million, so almost $8 million. Not much at all there, guys. For a guy like Buffett, $8 million is like a drop in the bucket. Forget the bucket; it's like a drop in the freaking well. I don't know how else to put it, guys, but it's a very small amount of money. So he also bought Liberty Media Corp, and these are all companies that I haven't even heard of. Yeah, I heard of Sirius XM here, which we'll talk about in a second. And I'm not sure what this Atlanta Braves Holdings is. Is this literally a position in the Atlanta Braves? I have no idea, guys. But either way, he bought that. He also bought this LLYVA, which is Liberty Media Corp, $161 million worth, or 5 million shares. He also bought, looks like different classes of shares. Either way, he bought $357 million of LLYVK, and then he also bought Sirius XM at a market value of $43 million. Currently, he bought almost 10 million shares of Sirius XM, which I'm actually interested in why he did that. What does he see, or what does Berkshire see in Sirius XM? I have no idea, but those are the new positions that he added this quarter. And again, he closed out all those ones that we mentioned, and he didn't add to any positions, so keep that in mind. He didn't add to any positions. And did he reduce any? Yes, he reduced a couple. Like we said earlier in the video, he reduced CVX, which is Chevron, one of his biggest positions. He sold 18 or no, that's wrong. He sold 12, almost 13 million shares. So previously it was 5.5% of the portfolio. Now it's at 5.9%. So I guess it did increase in market value, even though he sold a bunch of shares. Either way, he sold a bunch of shares of Chevron. He also sold shares of AOM PLC, also sold out of some Amazon, guys. He sold 550,000 shares of Amazon, which is quite interesting. HPQ also sold out of MKL Markel Corp. We also have Globe Life Inc., a couple that he sold out of. So that's a rundown here, guys, or not sold out of completely, but reduced the position size. So that's kind of a rundown here of what's going on with Berkshire, Warren Buffett as of the last quarter. And to be honest, guys, it's not anything crazy, nothing groundbreaking. I guess you can say the biggest moves that he made, or the biggest move that he made, was reducing his Chevron by about 13 million shares. But other than that, nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing too crazy. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And by the way, I'm not going to tell you all to go and buy these stocks or do anything. Don't follow anybody out there, guys. Don't blindly follow a YouTuber, a super investor like Warren Buffett, it's not going to work out well for you. When you're investing, you have to know why you're buying a stock, why you're buying an ETF, and you have to know the ins and outs and when you want to sell, when you want to add more to it, right? Because if you're just blindly buying based on what Warren Buffett's buying, you don't know what's going through his head. You don't know when he's going to sell or buy more or do this or that. So keep that in mind. Please do your own research, guys. Hit that like button down below. Make sure to subscribe here on YouTube. Follow me on X at Stocks Talk Stocks and get your free stocks from Moomoo. Why not? Use that link down below. Open up your account and fund it with at least $100. You get 5 stocks, each up to $2,000. And you get a free share of SoFi stock as well. And if you fund your account at least $1,000 on top of those 6 stocks, you get 10 more stocks, and each of those could be valued up to $2,000 as well, totaling 16 stocks, each up to $2,000. So get on it, guys. Use that link down below. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you all in the next one.